Let me tell you something I never thought I'd say. My morning coffee routine turned me into a minor national headline. I mean, who wakes up, pours a cup of joe, and thinks, today I'll be battling my HOA over the right to not freeze to death. But that's exactly how it happened. Yeah, that happened. If you'd asked me a few years ago whether I'd end up the reluctant hero in a story about neighborly grudges, blizzards, and redemption, I would have laughed hard. My name's Isaac Henderson. I've called Pinehurst Village, Duluth, Minnesota, home for 3 years now. Sounds cozy, right? It's one of those planned neighborhoods with all the charm and individuality of a row of cloned action figures. Every house a neat little two-story. Colonial, perfectly trimmed lawns, and, oh, an HOA that runs the place with the enthusiasm of a boot camp sergeant. If you've ever had your mailbox measured by a lady with a clipboard and a suspicious squint, you know the vibe. I'm a software engineer, work from home mostly, which means I avoid rush hour and office politics. But every now and then, I have to brave downtown Duluth, and when it's January and the wind chill's minus 35 degrees, you don't just jump in your car. No, you layer up like you're going to war, and you give your Honda Accord a solid 15, 20 minutes to shake off the Arctic coma. This isn't about comfort, it's survival. Minnesota rules. That day started like any other. 6:30 alarm. Coffee brewing, news app open, storm warning, 12 to 18 inches expected, gusts at 50. You get the picture, the kind of weather that makes you consider hibernation a valid lifestyle. I had a big client meeting at 10, so I needed to roll by 8:30 to play it safe. At 7:45, I'm bundled up like the Michelin Man, stepping outside. The cold just slaps me across the face, burns your lungs, makes your eyes water. My car's hidden under a layer of frost that's basically armor. I start her up, lock the doors, and hustle back inside to finish prepping for the day. Laptop bag, notes, jacket zipped, boots laced, doing my own little get-out-the-door ballet. 17 minutes. That's how long I was inside. Give or take a few seconds. Just long enough to hear the doorbell ring. And I know, when you see a squat figure in a purple puffer coat through your frosted glass, you brace yourself. It's Patricia Moreland, our HOA president and the single most committed enforcer of neighborhood order this side of the Berlin Wall. Patricia's in her late 40s, her hair set in a style impervious to both wind and reason, lips pinched so tight they could crack a walnut. She's standing there with her phone pointed at my driveway, already recording. I could tell by the look on her face. She was in her element. She hits me with that nasal, sharp-edged voice. I'm documenting a violation of HOA Code Section 12:4, subsection B. You've had your vehicle idling in your driveway for excessive time periods. Noise pollution, environmental hazard. She says this while shivering, by the way. The irony was lost on her. I try to keep my cool. Patricia, it's -18. I'm just trying not to die on my way to work. She ignores me, holding up her phone to show she's timing my crime. You've been out here for 16 minutes, 43 seconds. That's a violation. $200 fine. You ever feel your blood pressure spike so fast you get dizzy? That was me. Everyone in this neighborhood warms up their car. I say, voice starting to shake. It's Minnesota. This is survival, not a spa day. But she's on a roll. The rules apply to everyone equally, she says, giving me that smug smile. Report's been filed. You'll get your fine in 3 business days. She suggests I use my garage, which she knows is packed with storage from when my basement flooded. Thanks for the reminder. Then delivers her closer. If you don't like the rules, Isaac, you're free to move. She waddles away, mission accomplished. I stand there, seething. $200 for not wanting to crash into a snowbank or lose a toe to frostbite. Peak Patricia. On my drive downtown, I keep replaying every stupid violation she's ever slapped me with. Wrong shade mailbox. Grass a 1/4 inch too tall. Trash cans left out 1 extra day because, oh yeah, the garbage truck missed my house. It was always something with her. A one-woman nitpick parade. At lunch, my coworker Marcus asks why I'm distracted. I lay out the saga of Patricia and the car warming fine. He cracks up, but not in a funny way. More like, dude, is that even legal? Turns out, yeah, in black and white legalese, the HOA has that power. Welcome to the dark side of suburbia, right? Marcus shares his own HOA horror story. His brother got fined for using the wrong color rocks in Phoenix. The world is full of Patricias. By the time I head home, snow's coming down hard. The storm really sets in that night. Winds howling, city basically shut down. I'm lucky. Plenty of food, generator ready, laptop humming. Over the next 3 days, we get buried in snow. State of emergency. Plows can't keep up, schools and businesses all close. Cozy for me, but for others, not so much. Friday afternoon, as the blizzard rages, I'm on a video call when I hear yelling outside. Not just wind, actual shouting. I mute, peek out the window, and there's Patricia, looking like a purple marshmallow, slogging through chest-high snow. She's waving, face red, gasping. She barely makes it to my front door, shaking so bad she can hardly speak. My car broke down, she pants. Try to get my husband's meds. He's stuck out on Highway 61, 2 miles away. I walked back. I didn't know what else to do. Her phone's dead. Gerald, her husband, is still in the car, heart condition, needing medication, stranded in a blizzard. No help coming. Emergency services are swamped. 2 to 3 hours, maybe more. She looks at me, face crumpling. He'll freeze to death. I know he will. Now, let me be honest. Every petty part of me wanted to say, sorry, not my problem. Close the door and let karma do its thing. 3 years of fines, warnings, and that morning's humiliation. But I couldn't. Gerald never did anything to me. And even if he had, you don't leave someone to die because of a grudge. You just don't. I suit up, full Arctic Explorer mode, and tell Patricia, I'm warming up my car. It'll take 15 minutes, at least. She flinches, realizing the irony. I don't rub it in. Not then. Once the car's ready, I shovel like a madman, clear a path, and hit the road. Visibility's almost nothing, wind whipping the snow sideways. Every second, I'm thinking, this is nuts. This is how people end up on the news for all the wrong reasons. It takes half an hour to go 3 miles. Finally, I spot Patricia's Lexus, buried, lifeless. Gerald's inside, slumped, barely responsive. I get him out, get him into my car, blast the heat, and start back. He needs his meds, but the pharmacies are closed. I call my neighbor Mike, a paramedic. Miracle of miracles, he arranges a doctor at St. Luke's Hospital to authorize a temp supply. So, another treacherous drive, and we get Gerald sorted, safe and sound. When we get back, Patricia's waiting, eyes full of tears. Gerald collapses on my couch with a blanket and hot coffee. All she can say is, thank you, between apologies. For the first time, she drops the whole Queen of the HOA act. Just another scared person who made a mistake. Over the next few days, things shift. The blizzard passes. Patricia knocks on my door, awkward, asking if she can talk. She sits at my kitchen table, hands wrapped around a mug, and apologizes, really apologizes. Turns out, she's been struggling with anxiety for years. Controlling the neighborhood was her way of feeling safe, but it just made everyone miserable, including her. She hands me an envelope, my fine, voided. The HOA policy? Changed. Now there's a common-sense exemption for winter. About time. She steps down as president, starts actual therapy, even goes door-to-door making amends. People start talking, laughing, actually acting like neighbors instead of enemies. The new board, led by a retired teacher, Susan, keeps the rules but with compassion. The whole place feels lighter, like someone opened a window and let the air in. Patricia and I never became best friends, but we found respect. When my car finally died, she sent me to her mechanic. Good guy, fair price. Gerald took up woodworking, built birdhouses for the block. Patricia got certified as a therapy dog handler, volunteered at hospitals. Then one day, a news crew shows up, wants to interview Patricia about the big HOA reform. She tells the whole story on camera. The blizzard, the fines, how I helped Gerald. Isaac's a hero, she says, fighting tears. That went viral. Suddenly, I'm fielding calls from old friends and podcasts. Local legislators passed what folks now call the Warm Your Car bill, limiting HOA powers and bringing sanity back to neighborhoods. And you know what? After that, things just worked. Neighborhood BBQs, Halloween parties, kids playing in the street. I met Natalie, a teacher, the kind of person who thinks community means something. We got married in the park. Patricia and Gerald were there, beaming. She pulled me aside at the reception, called herself sober from my control addiction. Her words, not mine. One day at a time, letting go. A couple years later, our daughter was born. Gerald made us a rocking chair. Patricia brought dinner. Real friends now. The world keeps spinning, but the little things stick. Seeing cars warming up in driveways, no fear of fines. Just neighbors surviving winter together. There's this sense of, contentment. Who knew? Patricia went on to advocate for HOA reform. Gerald taught local kids woodworking. Marcus, my old coworker, still texts me news articles about wild HOA stories. Always with a glad you made it out alive, man. You want a twist? Here it is. The villain of my story became the one who changed everything. Not because she wanted to, because she had to. But she did. The petty tyrant got help, let go, and rebuilt more than just rules. She rebuilt trust. And the lesson? Well, it's not about being a hero or getting your face on the news. It's about that moment when you have every reason to say, no, not my problem, and instead you choose to help anyway. That's the turning point. That's how cycles break and communities heal. So now, every winter morning, I stand in my driveway, steam rising from the engine, neighbors waving. Everyone doing what needs to be done without fear. My daughter watches, bundled in her little pink snowsuit, and I hope, more than anything, that she grows up in a place where people help each other, even when it's hard. Let me leave you with this. What would you do, faced with someone who made your life hell, if they showed up needing help? Would you let karma do its thing, or would you be the one to break the chain? I want to know, really. Tell me your stories, your opinions on what's fair, what's right. Drop a comment. Ever had to choose between payback and compassion? Ever seen your enemy turn into your friend? Because sometimes, the line between villain and neighbor is thinner than the ice on a Minnesota driveway. And sometimes a little warmth, literal or otherwise, is all it takes to melt it.